What's good, y'all? It's Elijah Boy. Pause and let me talk to you. We're going to talk about WWE Clash in Paris. Sorry, it's a little late today. Your boy was busy. But let's get into the show. The show kicks off where Roman Reigns went one-on-one with the big Bronson Reed of the Division. And let me tell you, this match was dope. It was hard-hitting, star-making performance for Bronson Reed. He gave Roman everything he had and then some. But in the end, the tribal chief, the OTC, was able to pick up the win. But the real story is what happened after the match. While Paul Heyman was checking on Big Bronson Reed, he like, yo, homie, you good? I ain't gonna lie, man. He dropped you, bro. I saw the whole thing. Next thing you know, Roman Reigns walks in the ring. And he looks at Paul Heyman and said, now, I like your shoe. I like my shoes. And I want my shoes. We could do this the easy way, or we could do this the hard way. And Paul was like, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. I love you, my tribal chief. I know they're charging you. So I see you selecting the hard way. And so Roman starts choking out Paul Heyman, and he had to use his whole arms because, you know, Heyman got that neck, bro. That neck, bro, his neck game is pretty strong. Whoa, that's not what I meant. Dang, that went the wrong way very quick. His neck is pretty wide, so, you know, Roman had to put like his whole body around his neck. So he started choking him out. Right? Yo, pause. That looked crazy out of context. Look. So he chokes out Paul Heyman, right? So next thing you know, Braun, he chokes out Paul Heyman, and then he takes his shoes back, which I was very grateful for, and the fans and friends cheered as they should. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of hoping he would take Paul Heyman's and Bronson Reed's shoes, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. So he gets back to the announce table. So he starts signing his shoes, and he started giving some away in the crowd. Next thing you know, Braun Breaker showed up like the Road Runner, and just zoom, you know what I'm saying? Like he just went zoom to Roman Reigns. Man, literally broke him in half. I looked at it, I said, dang. I guess you could say Braun broke him. I'm sorry, that was terrible. So he broke Roman off. Whoa, not like that. See, you know what? Y'all nasty. That's y'all problem. Y'all just freaks in this comments. So Braun, after Braun spears him, you know, he starts moving his neck. I'm like, dude, how does his neck not crack when he be like doing this stuff? Like he looked like a robot getting electrocuted, just like, you know, and the bands were barking, right? So all the producers and the security guards come out, you know, Jason Jordan and all that other stuff. So then after Bronson like tsunamis him, right? You know, Bronson and Braun are outside the ring. So the EMTs and all of them come out and they start tying Roman to like a stretcher. Next thing we know, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker come back and they left Roman by himself, tied to a stretcher, completely defenseless. If I'm Roman, I would have been like, oh man, they're coming back. Hey, where y'all going? Where y'all going? So he tsunamis him a couple times. And I'm like, dang, man, if I'm Roman, man, I'd be mad at that team. I ain't going to hold you. So after they finish beating down Roman for a more while, then Jey Uso comes out trying to make a save with no weapon, by the way. So he ends up getting speared by Braun Breaker. And it sucks considering Jey has a match later on tonight, but at least he tried his best. So then they cut to a segment in the back. Adam Pearce is yelling at Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker like, you guys are crazy. What the heck is wrong with you? He said, we do what we want. And Adam Pearce said, oh yeah? Well, guess what? You, and Paul Heyman can hit the bricks. He said, if y'all get involved, if you're not out of the building, if he so much as smell them, and you know Bronson Reed just had a match, so he probably musty too. He said, if I so much as smell you, you will be suspended. And they was like, oh, well, we're going to be suspended without pay. So you say this the exit right here? Anyways, so they leave with Paul Heyman as well. They had to take him to their hospital too because he was getting choked out. So the next match is for the WWE Tag Team Championships, the Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six. Now apparently there's some storyline going which I haven't been following really. I guess Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford are having some type of weird thing going on, but you know, the classic Wyatt family mind games. By the way, that entrance where they were singing Bray Wyatt's theme, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was beautiful, and I'm very happy that I'm surprised that song didn't get sung along sooner. But I feel like every crowd's gonna do that now because France did it. So yeah, that's basically what happened. But essentially, they had a standard tag team match, and the Wyatt Six retained with help from Sister Abigail and Uncle Howdy. So the Street Profits lose, but the Wyatt Six, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Lumis retain the titles. Next match, pretty straightforward. The Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch defending against Nikki Bella. Pretty aight match. It wasn't really nothing to write home about. Nikki Bella pulled out that effort. Considering this is probably, what is this, their second match back, I think? Long match back? It was a pretty long matchup. Went longer than I thought it would. But hey, getting your feet wet basically, and she hit her with that WWE Diva style finish when Becky Lynch rolled up Nikki Bella like a pretzel. Pause, not like that. Rolled her up like a Wiz Khalifa song, and retained the Women's Intercontinental Championship. In the fourth match, this match, bro, Bronson Reed. Wow, Elijah. See, I'm sleepy. Rusev versus Sheamus in a good old Donnybrook match. What a match, bro. Let me tell you, I knew this was going to be hard hitting. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be a banger after banger after banger after a banger. That match was fire. You know what I'm saying? Especially the part where Sheamus was on top of all the barrels with Rusev and hit white noise through a bunch of tables. You know what I'm saying? It was a fire matchup, but Rusev won by using the accolade with the shillelagh in hand. And Sheamus had no choice but to tap out. Great match. Sheamus and Rusev doing what they do best, providing us with bangers. Anyway, fifth match, a match I was looking forward to, John Cena versus Logan Paul. Cena comes out to all the fanfare. They are showering him with love and affection for the last time ever in France. Logan Paul did his thing as usual. Cena did his thing as usual. You know what I'm saying? Big match, John. It was crazy. Logan Paul hit some impressive moves. Cena hit the End of Days and a Styles Clash, moves he don't typically use. Logan Paul used Cena's own move against him, couldn't get the win. But Cena hit the AA basically and got the win over Logan Paul. Very impressive matchup. If my memory serves me correct, I think that's how he won. After a couple AAs, it was getting a little nerve-wracking. I was like, hey, no way Logan Paul gonna beat Cena tonight. But let's get to the main event of the evening for the World Heavyweight Championship. Fatal 4-way match. CM Punk versus main event Jey Uso versus the megastar LA Knight versus Seth freaking Rollins. Now, as you know, Seth did an interview before the match basically saying he doesn't need the vision and all this other stuff, basically trying to hype himself up. Next thing we know, he gets out there. Pretty standard fatal 4-way matchup, very epic. They ganged up on Seth a couple times, but it still felt like every man for himself. And it was nuts. Jey Uso had his ribs taped from earlier. LA Knight took a crazy risks that he typically doesn't do. He tries to hit an elbow drop on Seth on the announce table, but unfortunately Seth rolled out of the way at the last moment, took himself out of the equation. Before that, LA Knight did take Punk out of the equation by throwing him overboard, but next thing we know, man, I ain't gonna lie, they almost had me a couple times because I thought LA Knight was gonna get the win earlier when he hit that BFT, but Jey Uso decided to get involved, and then Jey Uso, man, it was so many close calls in this matchup. But we're gonna skip to the end. Just when CM Punk had Rollins right where he wanted him, hit a go to sleep. Seth looked like he was knocked out cold. Then Punk was going for one more GTS. And then a masked individual runs into the ring and straight hit him in the little bests in the world. Literally just okay. The person didn't like cuff his ball. He basically hit him with a low blow. Pause on all of this. Hit him with a low blow. Seth basically hit a curb stomp. If my memory serves me correctly, it's a curb stomp. And then the person who did it was revealed to be Becky Lynch. The last person I honestly expected to help Seth Rollins in this matchup. At first, I thought he got a new member of the Vision. I'm like, who the heck is this? And then when I saw the body, I was like, wait a minute. It was freaking Becky Lynch. And so she starts yelling like, yeah, we got, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And Seth was just smiling and all this other stuff. There's always a plan B, even though I never use it. Sorry. Anyway, but with that being said, Seth retains the World Heavyweight Championship and the PLE is over. So this was the last PLE on Peacock. It was a pretty good show. France showed up and showed out. Shout out to y'all. I don't know if I have any French viewers, but yeah, it was a pretty good show. And I hope you all enjoyed it just as much as I did. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this review. And I will see you all next time.